Hello and welcome to Poland, my name is Pawel, and today another time I'm filming in my kitchen. The reason is very simple, as I promised, I want to show you how I'm baking my sourdough bread. Shall we? At the beginning of the pandemic, I decided to bake my home bread because I had much more time. But it was not possible to buy yeast in any shop. Then I've read that sourdough bread is much healthier. But I was thinking that it's also very complicated. And today I want to prove that it's not true. First, and very important, is timing. Even the recipe is not very time consuming, you have to plan it. So now I'm starting in the evening to prepare the leaven for morning. And I'm taking the starter from the fridge. I keep my starter in a jar. You can smell it. And for sure you will find that it's a good smell. And to make the leaven, I will use 150 grams of flour and 150 milliliters of water. The amount of both should be exactly the same. So, let's start. And water. And now I will have to mix all together. Now it's around half a jar. When it's active, you will see that it doubled its size. Now I'm closing it, leaving in a warm place for around 8 to 10 hours, and we are meeting in the morning. So we're coming back in the morning. I have much more things on the table. First and the most important, leaven. It's activated, it smells strong, and you can find air bubbles there. 2 types of flour, rye and wheat flour, salt, some seeds, sunflower and sesame, what I will add, bowl for mixing, silicone form for baking, and boiled water in a room temperature. And those are all ingredients what I'm going to use now. I'm starting with flour, so first I have to measure it, and I will use 350 grams of flour, 200 rye and 150 wheat flour. I will put ingredients and numbers in the description below that video. So, let's start the measurement. Now, very important, you have to remember about adding salt. I'm taking half a spoon, big spoon of salt, 2 spoons of sunflower seeds, and 2 spoons of sesame. And very important is the amount of water, 80% of flour. So if I had 350 grams of flour, 280 milliliters of water. And the last ingredient, the most important, leaven. I'm leaving some on the bottom of the jar as the future starter. And now when you have all ingredients in a bowl, you have to mix it carefully. And now, when it's all mixed, you have to put it to the form. So it's not very complicated and you can work with clean hands. It makes that recipe very easy because you don't have to stretch it, you don't have to worry about forming a loaf of bread. And bread in Poland is very important. There is a tradition that you are never wasting bread. So even you have the last piece, last slice, you have to eat it, not to waste any part of the bread. When we have it here, just move it around the form. And now it's ready for another grow. And to make it even less complicated, I will put it directly to the oven and leave there for around 3 to 4 hours, but checking how it's growing. So now it's half and it will be ready for baking when it will be almost the full size. And now I'm putting my bread to the oven. It's easier because then you don't have to move it in any place. It's good to cover it with a cotton towel, and it's how you can leave it for around 3 hours. You will check how it's growing, and then we are meeting when it will be ready for baking. After 3 to 4 hours, when you see that it's grown, just close the oven and set the temperature for 200 degrees Celsius. And when the oven hits the temperature, wait 45 minutes. After that time it's baked, so open the oven, but be very careful because it's also very hot. And now, even you would like to eat it immediately, don't do it. Just take it out from the form and leave it for some time, an hour, 2 hours, to cool down a bit because it is still baking inside. And the last and the most important part is when you try your home bread. For that you will need bread, knife and butter. It's all to have the best bread. So first slice, it smells very nice and you can put butter on it. As you can see, to make your own sourdough bread it's very easy. You can mix different types of flour, you can use different kind of seeds, but please remember about the water. It needs to be between 70 and 80% comparing to flour. If you don't know how to say bread in Polish, you will find a link to video about it up there. And also, if you would like to find more my episodes in the kitchen, please leave that information in the comment section below the video. There is a subscription button. If it's red, please click to make it gray. And then see you in the next episode. Bye!